On the news this morning, Chief of Staff to Governor Soludo Ezeajoe urges communities to protect government facilities. Anambra State Government vows to reposition education through technology-driven reforms. INEC Chairman Yakubu urges youth to champion peaceful election. UK Supreme Court says legal definition of woman excludes trans women in landmark ruling. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report on scrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 0800-2200-008. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Now, Anambra have been charged to take ownership of government facilities in their communities and prevent them from being damaged. Works correspondent Ngozi Obileri reports that the Chief of Staff to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Chief Ernest Ezeajoe, gave the charge shortly after inspecting the newly constructed 26.5 kilometers Amansi Ndekpa Ntoko Ndiukwenu Awa Ufoma Road. Her report.
Ezeajoe observed with dismay that members of communities along the road and developers had blocked entrance into their properties with sand and firewood, thereby blocking the free flow of flood water inside the drainages. According to Chief Ezeajoe, blocking the drainage channel with sand is unacceptable and attracts sanctions, warning developers, especially those building estates along the area, to remove the sand or risk being penalized, even as he said that if the situation is not checked, the flood water will discharge into the third road and cut short the lifespan of the roads. He wondered why a right-thinking person would be involved in the act and expressed worry that the situation has brought about ponds in parts of the drainage channel and will worsen with continuous rainfall.
It's a project that is now saving people's time, but for the residents, for the business community, for the estate developers, not protecting the infrastructure is unacceptable. The reason why we are here is to create awareness and tell people that blocking the drainage is wrong, and the local council must do something. I'm happy that we are here with Ocha Brigade, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra State. So they will do their bit.
From Amansi Ndekpa Ntoko Ndiukwenu Awa Ufuma Road, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Youths in the southeast have been encouraged to key into the ongoing Nigerian Army recruitment to fill up the zone slot and represent the southeast in the force. The leader of the Army Force Headquarters Recruitment Sensitization Team to Anambra State, Brigadier General Chima Ekato, made the call at the Government House, Oka, while sensitizing youth leaders and President General on the need to encourage youths in their various communities to take part in the ongoing Army recruitment. Our correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo has the report.
Brigadier Ekato, who called on the youth to take advantage of the ongoing exercise, revealed that 4,000 Northerners have registered for the recruitment as against the about 200 persons that registered in the southeast.
The number has not been encouraging. That is why this sensitization is being done. So we hope that this sensitization will help us raise the awareness.
In his remarks, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Anambra, and Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Mr. Tony Collins Nwabunwanne, assured that the government will continue to sensitize the youths in the state and called on traditional rulers and president generals of the whole communities in the state to join hands and mobilize 10 youths each day in their communities that will join the army through the president recruitment exercise.
This is the beginning of a new journey, and I must appreciate the military, forces in Anambra State, for the great support.
Encourage yourselves. There's a whole lot of departments when you come to the military, the Air Force, the police, and all that.
The turnout for the young Igbo people to join them is so low, it's pathetic. Say in Kaduna, they have registered about 4,000 people, but here in the southeast, or maybe I'm talking about 200. That even 200 has not been actualized.
As part of the ongoing rollout of the Smart Learn Anambra initiative, the state government has convened a strategic engagement with principals of 22 selected pilot schools, which brought together key government stakeholders and school leaders to align on expectations, responsibilities, and a roadmap for implementation. According to a release by the ministry, the State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, while addressing the principals at the event, reiterated Governor Chukwuma Soludo's resolve to reposition education in the state through technology-driven reforms. In their remarks, the Education Commissioner, Professor Choma Ude, explained that Governor Soludo is not just interested in education as it was, but in smart education, while the PPSSC chairman, Professor Ike Diego, encouraged the school principals to fully understand and embrace their role in the success of the initiative. On his part, the managing director of the State ICT Agency, Mr. Abata, described Smart Learn Anambra as a bold step towards integrating technology into secondary education and outlined the core components of the initiative to include infrastructure enhancement, provision of learning devices, specialized laboratories, school upgrades and renovations, among others. Following the launch and deployment of the Joint Security Team to enforce Operation Udogachi Zero Kidnapping a few days ago, the Commissioner for Police, CP Ikioye Orutugo, has set up a monitoring team headed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Criminal Investigations Department, OCA, DCP Mantu Chong, to ensure that officers are civil and are complying with the operational order. According to a press release signed by the Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga, disclosed that DCP Chong can be reached on 0703 0871 026. The release stated that the CP, on behalf of other security agencies, expressed gratitude to the state government and some good-spirited in Anambra for their support, and also appreciated the coordinated approach and sacrifices of the police and other security agencies to nip in the bud serious crimes like armed robbery, kidnapping, and other related situations, especially within this Easter period and beyond. The CP noted that alongside their strong resolve to fight all forms of violent crimes, the operations have a window of alternative dispute resolution and community policing principles where applicable, and this will be open for those desirous of taking advantage of such avenues to resolve specific problems and issues. Now, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has urged African youth to play an active role in ensuring peaceful and credible elections across the continent. According to the statement by the Commission, Yakubu made this call during a lecture at the Civil Service University in the Gambia. He addressed students of international affairs and diplomacy, as well as peace and conflict studies, on the topic democracy and peaceful elections in West Africa. He emphasized the need for young people to engage in electoral processes with integrity and a strong commitment to democratic values. According to the INEC chairman, youth participation is vital for successful elections in Africa. He highlighted their importance as the primary manpower for election management, but is noting that many are engaged as temporary or ad hoc staff during elections. Yakubu also warned against electoral malpractice and urged youths to act with responsibility and patriotism. On the foreign scene, the United Kingdom's highest court ruled that the legal definition of woman excludes trans women in a case with sweeping consequences for how equality laws are applied. Britain's Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the definition of a woman in equality legislation refers to a biological woman and biological sex, sparking celebrations outside courts among gender-critical campaigners. The court decided on whether trans women with a gender recognition certificate, which offers legal recognition of someone's female sex, are protected from discrimination as a woman under the nation's Equality Act 2010. A group of campaigners in Scotland brought the challenge in 2018, arguing that those rights should only safeguard those assigned as women at birth. But the Scottish government said that a trans woman with a GRC is legally a woman and should therefore be afforded the same legal protections. The UK's ruling Labour Party said the ruling brought clarity and confidence, while the opposition Conservatives called it a clear victory for common sense, urging the government to amend the existing guidance. The National Sports Commission, NSC, has launched the outstanding performance of Team Nigeria at the recently concluded ITTF World Para Future Tournament in Amman, Jordan, where the nation displayed its dominance in para table tennis by finishing among the top 3 teams globally. Over the 3-day championship, Nigeria amassed a remarkable haul of 5 gold, 7 silver, and 2 bronze medals, competing against powerhouses such as Germany, Iran, and host nation Jordan. Nigeria stood tall as one of the only 3 African nations in attendance, alongside Egypt and South Africa. NSC Chairman Malam Shehu Diko described the achievement as a testament to what is possible when vision meets preparation and belief. Now, the atmosphere was laden with emotions as family members, relations, associates, in-laws, students of various universities in Anambra State and Ndi Nsugbe, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out in their numbers to pay their last respect to Associate Professor Frank Nnemeka, popularly called Morokwe, aged 54. Associate Professor Nnemeka's burial ceremony began with a requiem mass at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Nsugbe, Anambra East Council area, officiated by the Chancellor, Aguleri Diocese and first indigenous priest of Nsugbe community, Very Reverend Father Innocent Ebunike. Our correspondent, Ngozi Obileri, tells us more.
CSEF. Today's burial wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you so much.
In their separate speeches, the patron of Committed Nsugbe Citizens Empowerment Group, which the late Nnemeka belonged until his death, Mr. Franklin Okeke, the President General Nsugbe Development Union, Barrister Chinweze Ezeanwu, the President General of NDU Women Wing, Mrs. Ngozi Emencheta, the Chairman, Frank Nnemeka Burial Planning Committee, Mr. Ben Okoye, and many others went down memory lane on how the late Nnemeka has been championing skill acquisition program for the youth, agricultural program for the community through the use of a tractor, adult education for Ndi Nsugbe, all initiated by the Committed Nsugbe Group, regretting that the programs will suffer setback because of his death, which they described as one death too many.
Everything went smooth and fine.
I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Our deepest condolences to the family of Associate Prof. Nnemeka. And that's just about it on the news. Now remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service, subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka, on X at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And the main news again. Chief of Staff to Governor Soludo has urged communities to protect government properties. Anambra State government has vowed to reposition education through technology-driven reforms. INEC Chairman Yakubu has urged youth to champion peaceful election. And from the foreign scene, we brought you reports that UK Supreme Court has ruled that legal definition of woman excludes trans women in a landmark judgment. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, let us join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report on scrupulous elements in this, to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5111 and 0800-2200-008. And that's it on the news for this morning. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. Good morning and have a great day.